Anima saying, all is good in the world, he's eating. Alright, let's see here. Anyone just watching like my Xenoblade series is gonna be so confused when they see this. Over to here. So, it is MegaLAN 2025 here. We are continuing with day 2. It is 11:30 a.m. I got a little bit under 3 hours of sleep last night. I've been going ham on like game after game after game after game. If I have display capture 2 here still, yeah. So, there's still a decent bit of stuff that I want to ham out at 3 p.m. Okay, so in about 3.5 hours, I'm going to have to be ready for the Mario Kart event that I'm hosting here. So that's going to be going on at that time. Still have a decent bit of that to go. I'll do this at some point. I'm getting a text here. There's stuff with Fire and Binding Blade. I'll do a little bit of this. I want to do some Affinity mission with Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is Brave Fluid Flow. It can take however much time I want it to take. And I figured that that was a good option to do now, because I just did like some Last of Us 2 no return stuff. And it's time to get some food. So I got food. Look at this. Pancakes, bacon, and eggs. There's quite a decent bit of food over there. And I was debating, like, what game would be good to do, like, with food, because I have to eat during these LAN events. I was like, oh, what if I do Xenoblade X? Because if I'm doing Affinity missions, it's gonna be largely cutscenes anyway. So, that'll give me a chance to eat and not have to worry about, like, eating slowly because I'm offering commentary along the way. Because I'm watching cutscenes. That was my thought process here. While I was up, I also properly paid for the event here. I got my little raffle-y ticket thingamabob that I'll put in my phone. My mom texted me asking if there's time to call. Why won't my phone turn on? So we're not actually properly starting yet. I'm gonna do that really quickly. Enjoy this screen for now. Alright, I am back again. And not oh, why do I have the chat off too? There was no reason for me to turn that off and just force a habit here. That's not quite true, Anima. I was not eating breakfast. I was on a FaceTime call with my mom at the moment. And because of that, I still haven't touched breakfast. So, like, I can finally do it now. But I figure I'll start, like, an Affinity mission first. I gotta turn down my own volume. I had it cranked up super high when I was playing Last of Us there. I figure I'll start an Affinity mission here first. And then, like, I can eat during cutscenes and stuff anyway, and it works out great. So, I want to prioritize doing the new DLC ones. No, don't worry. Don't worry, I'm gonna get this breakfast eaten. I will fuel myself up during this event yet. I'll showcase some Xenoblade X. Anyone tuning in is just part of the Xenoblade series. LAN event, MegaLAN 2025. I've showcased LAN events during my Xenoblade Chronicles playthroughs before. Just not this one yet. Yeah, here's the venue and stuff. We got a whole community hall full of gamers, Vidjaming, MegaFPS. And we're just doing like a whole weekend of gaming. Can you see my truck out that door? Not quite. Too much light is coming in. But like, you normally be able to see it right with that door, and that's where I've been sleeping and stuff. This layout. Alright. Let's see some of these new DLC Affinity missions. So it's gonna be new content to me as well. And, let's see here. No requirements, the Custodian's duty. Yeah, I did all the things. Let's see what's going on here. Time for cutscene and stuff. I'm gonna eat now.
Hey, how you been? Been a while, hasn't it?
Hello there.
What's the deal? It's been a while since we continued your quest line, huh?
Nothing in particular. I just happened to see you and thought I'd say hi. Okay, that's a lie. I was hoping to talk to you about something. We could take it to the barracks. Wait, before all that, I believe I owe you my thanks. I hear you saved my dear little sister. Celica Sulica truly landed in hot water. Really, thank you.
Well, little sister is going too far, Lady Neil. I am not worthy.
Really? I disagree. We were both spawned from the same artificial womb plant. We Clue are all one big family, aren't we?
Perhaps, but you're the High Custodian, the most exalted in all of Clerian society. Whereas I am from a line of acolytes who serve you. The mere act of accompanying you like this, it's an honor beyond compare.
Is that so? I haven't been back to our home planet in so long, but I see our education system is as rigid as ever. I'm tired of all this pomp and ceremony. Leave the hierarchical stuff to the other girls. I'd appreciate it if you could simply be yourself around me.
Lady Neil.
Whoops, we're getting sidetracked. I'll tell you the rest in the Blade Barracks. It'll be easier if you see the data firsthand.
Wow. Like, as soon as you head to the Blade Barracks and get a particulars denial and Celica's request. For anyone just watching MegaLAN stuff, for a recap on the story that's going on here, well, Xenoblade X is just like, we're trying to make a new home on this alien planet and stuff, and getting to know all these other alien races and stuff, essentially. In the first quest that we did with her, we investigated this, like, massive terraforming ring ruins thingamabob, and we were attacked by these big robots. Now we are caught up. So if this connects to that in some way. But this is also kind of just my excuse to eat during this event, where I keep on streaming, I keep getting through the list of games I want to get through. I also fuel up. Normally don't eat while I stream, but LAN events and 24-hour cherry streams have to be the exception.
Right then, first, take a look at this. The time we went to Oblivia, remember those mystery mechs that attacked us? I finally figured out what they're all about. Rather, I remembered seeing the very same ones in a database back on our home planet.
They're Clurian, so that means...
Yeah, those machines are mobile weapons developed using actual Clurian technology. Would it be easier if we simply called them skells? The model is old, practically antique. But these were special skells who once served as personal bodyguards to a certain Custodian. They require no pilot and were designed from top to bottom to be fully autonomous. In actual fact, there's something of a trick to their autonomic functions. Now, pop quiz. If I asked you who you could trust implicitly, who comes to mind?
The machine that you ordered to do a thingamabob? Oh, I thought that's what you're going to be getting at by saying that they can act autonomously.
Oh, yeah, the right.
Not myself.
Hey, that's right. Gold star. Logically, the act of betraying oneself doesn't hold up. Ergo, it stands that you can trust yourself. And so, the master of those skells copied her personality onto them and incorporated it into their autonomic system. The personality of the High Custodian Neil Nail.
Verify that she really said Neil Nail's personality.
I did. By which I mean, of course, my predecessor.
The High Custodian, her existence is perpetuated through the use of clones. She who presides over the knowledge of ancient times. Such is the destiny of Lady Neil Nail.
Well, I may be a clone, but I still have my own personality, thoughts, and desires. The point is, those skells are technically the embodiment of a former iteration of Neil Nail. Let's call the white one Neil Nail Albus, and the black one can be Neil Nail Fervus. Here's what I think. Their job is to defend any sites of Clurian influence. That is the duty of a Neil Nail. And that's why we were attacked. Who else to right the wrongs of the High Custodian but the High Custodian herself? Which means there's only one thing left to do. Destroy them. Put the old Neil Nail in her coffin. As I'm sure you're aware from the last battle, they're not likely to roll over and die for us. Once again, would you lend me your strength? Please?
I guess so. Wow, the nice freeze frame there. Sure.
Thank you. I was fully expecting you to turn me down, so honestly, I'm delighted. After all, I couldn't ask this of just anyone. It's a risky assignment, but I'm more than convinced we'll be able to pull this off.
Lady Neil, let me accompany you too. I promise I won't slow you down.
Thank you, Celica. With you at my side, I'm all the more reassured.
First off, we'll need to find your predecessor's skells, won't we?
According to the data I collected, they recently ambushed someone, a blade who was exploring a cluster of ruins and cauldrons. If the scales are meant to deter anyone who explores too far into the ruins, then...
You're saying if we investigate those ruins ourselves, they will come for us.
Bingo. I think it's worth a try. For starters, why don't we try looking in those ruins for info samples? That said, we'll have to be snappy. We can't risk them claiming any more victims.
At once, Lady Neil.
This was a great idea doing this game with with having breakfast. I'm like halfway through it already. And then I can just like commit to like the game fully while it's not cutscenes and stuff. And it'll be great. What's the button again for the L and Y? So in Caldros over here. Also, if this was designed for original Xenoblade X on the Wii U, I have no doubt it would force the party members of Neil and Celica in your party for this mission. But Xenoblade X Definitive doesn't really care about that kind of thing, so we're just good to go. Some stuff over here that I never looted. Who did I just aggro? Did I run somebody over? Oh, I totally did. Oh. They don't mind anymore. Probably not too many salvageable things around the world that I've missed at this point. But whatever ones I see around here, I may as well get and make sure that I've, hammed them out and stuff. Is this one down here or something? Yeah, it is down here. Let me grab this really quickly while I'm here anyway. But I may as well do. You might notice some new skills since the last time I played. So here's my Ares 90 that I've just been, using as my turn my brain off option. I do also have a Hresvelg, level 61, that I use when I want to like get around the world super fast. But if I just want to kill anything without having to do my whole overdrive setup, then this is like the easiest way to go. And we have like, I have Tempest recreated from part 136 of my last Xenoblade Chronicles X playthrough. Tempest at Journey's End, I finally made like a level 60 Skell that I thought would be like my new go-to. So I remade it in this game. I also made a Mastema level 60 here to be like the ultimate range to go down the line. So that's what's going on there. So we do have some new stuff since the last time I streamed this game. Alien Ruins. You salvage Royal Records 1. Oh, I thought it was going to go into a cutscene. It didn't. Let's see here. So, let's actually see here really quickly. If I go into active members, if it lets me. It might not let me. I thought you were gonna like laser me for a second there. Do I have to be out of my skill or something? Yeah, so if I just temporarily set Celica as my active party member, the one that I'm playing, look at this. When I made that Skell at the end of the last playthrough being like, hey, I completed the grind to unlock this Skell. Now if I ever come back and play the game, then this is what I'll be playing it in. Like my ultimate Skell that I'll be slowly building up. But then I never came back, but then X Definitive came out, and now here we are. And now Tempest makes a grand return. After, what, like 2 years or something like that? Whenever I did my last playthrough, whenever that ended off, I keep looking that way. Like, because I'm used to my camera always being that way. My home setup. Alright, but I don't actually want to be playing Celica here. I want to be playing my character. So I would honestly prefer... Let's see. So, what's going on over here? Let's go investigate all these ruins. You want to finish all the content in this game before the Switch 2 comes out, or you save some gameplay for when the performance can be expected to be better? I definitely don't think I'll 100% this game unless I do end up playing a lot of it on my own time, which I have up to this point. This file is now almost completely caught up to my playthrough back when. There's still a handful of quests that I did in my playthrough years ago that I haven't done yet. Like, anything that's new, I only want to do, like, on camera. Anything that I've done before, I'm doing off camera, so... Most of the map is completed now. I could potentially see myself 100%ing this game, but I would have to, like, still go around and do a decent bit of, like, other side quests here. The things that I for sure know that I want to do on stream here is I do want to showcase, like, the new Affinity missions to this game. So, like, the one that I'm doing right now with Nile Nail, or, where's the Liesel ones? I did a couple Liesel ones. Is there any more Liesel ones? Is there, like, a third one? Or no, because I did all this stuff with the Hresvelg already. Am I done with the skill? I might actually be done with Liesel stuff. Yeah, that might actually be the case. I might actually be done with Liesl's stuff, and maybe I'll finish off a Nile stuff here. There is also stuff with Gajarg, which I believe is in Cauldros. Yeah, this is something else that's new to Definitive Edition. So I want to showcase all the new stuff at least, like that. But I don't know if I'd necessarily be going around like 100%ing the whole game, so I don't know if I do all the content. But there is still some stuff I'd like to do. I want to showcase the new Affinity missions. And at this point, the Switch 2 comes out next week. I figured I would showcase a little bit of this game here at MegaLAN during like the LAN event and all that. But I'm probably not going to be streaming any more of this game until the Switch 2 comes out. Like, one, because it's coming out next week. But even if it was coming out like months later, I would probably be like, yeah, I'm not streaming any more of this until like the Switch 2 comes out anyway, because yeah, the performance of this is pretty bad. It's not exactly great, but I don't feel like dealing with you, so I'm just gonna do this. So, like I said, turn my brain off option. Who else is attacking me? Here, I gotta reply to a text really quickly. Like that. I also sorted through my inventory a bit since last time. I had to throw out a whole bunch of stuff. I probably shouldn't be accepting everything again, so I don't have to do that sorting again. But I'm lazy, I'm taking all. I was at my capacity for for armor and stuff like that. I had to trash so much stuff. That's something that I've never had to do in Xenoblade Chronicles X before. So I guess this playthrough with Definitive Edition is like the most ham I've ever gone on, at least grinding out like armor and stuff like that I've ever done. Because I've never gotten to 999 pieces of armor and needed to throw stuff out.
Nothing yet. Your forebear's scales refuse to surface. Perhaps the ruins of Cauldros really have nothing to do with Clerians.
No, I'm sure that they do. I took a good look around the cloister. It was incredibly subtle, but there were traces of the clue. It's starting to look like Samarian worship took a radical turn, very different to the peaceful faith it once was. There's a high probability that we'll find them here. The problem is, where to look. Perhaps we should try thinking more central.
Central, you say?
From the records we have to go on, we know that a king once ruled here, a civilization under an almighty monarch. This place was once the royal capital. Now, where would a king take his seat?
On a throne. From a castle.
Yes, he would. For a variety of reasons, throughout history, castles have been a mainstay of sovereign power. The castle, both a threshold between ruler and governed, and a bulwark against foreign invaders.
A means of defense? Just as the scales are, you mean?
It's a possibility. Now, time to check our theory. Onward to Orsim Castle. We're sure to find answers there.
Okay. To Orsim Castle. There's a thing here, but like, whatever. Also, hopefully I can get a Switch 2 at launch. With the launch of the Switch 1, I was in line for like 10 hours, and I did manage to secure like a non-pre-order unit. I plan on doing that again this time. I'm gonna get to my local GameStop really, really early. So I better get my video essay done before then. And hopefully secure a unit.
Lady Neil!
Yeah, we found our scales. This floor plan suggests that this was once the castle's keep. The keep is the king's seat of power. In other words, it's the heart of these ruins. As we've determined, these scales are dangerous foes not to be trifled with. That said, it's not like we have any other option. Destroying them is the only way.
It's just now occurring to me, I should have built up my TP before this battle. Oops. Did I just use a scale and like... Here, like I said, turn off my brain option. Who needs to like engage with the game when I can just do this? Just play a bit through... Wow, I didn't realize that was a multi-target move. What would that be, Reggie Bump?
That's it. Our task is done. They'll never harm an innocent again. The Custodian herself has cleaned up the old one's mess. The matter can finally be put to bed.
Lady Neil, was this really the right thing to do? They were erratic and unsafe, but were they not also a part of you?
There's an easy answer to that one, Celica. If you are always chained to the past, you can never look to the future. Even if it means denying my old self's legacy, I still intend to right their wrongs. We Clue must rise above our past if we're to soar once again through the infinite beyond.
Among the acolytes, there were some who disputed your authority. Some even called you heretic. Now I see the truth. I see that you have always had Clue's best interests at heart.
The same can be said of all Clurians, Celica. You see, the only difference is how we go about it. Besides, making contact with alien races, it's not always the solar storm we think it'll be. We don't need faith and tech as crutches, not when words can bridge the gap between worlds. We have a prime example of that right here, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just trying to eat my breakfast.
Yes.
Now, we've wrapped up our business in Coldros, but there's still much work to be done on Mira. So many races journeyed through the stars to end up on this single planet. Cosmo-archaeologically speaking, it's odd. The way Mira keeps presenting mystery upon mystery, I doubt my work's drying up anytime soon.
I'll take any job, sure.
Oh, you're pretty much indispensable at this point if I'm to perform my fieldwork here. Hey, why don't you become my assistant? Yeah, that's a great idea.
Lady Neil, the humans might have pressing matters of their own to deal with right now.
The Custodian's duty. You destroyed the skulls left behind by former Neil, whatever that. Fulfilling Neil's sacred duty as High Custodian. From the Psycho Launcher art, Heroic Tale. Cool. Got her other personal art. I'm almost done with breakfast. I have like one bite left on my plate. Alright, well. I did the thing, Bob. Out of curiosity, I assume it's just like 2 there. So all I'd have left is 2 good jars for new ones. My goodness. Yeah, these are all main game characters. So I think I've completed her quest line. Okay. Oh yeah, I can go accept the Sword of Legendariness now. That's another one that I'm pretty sure I did back when, so I can do that one off camera whenever I feel like it. New Life, don't think I did that one. I definitely did not do Snipe Hunt, which is why I'm not finishing that one. I haven't done that one before. Circle of Life, I probably did that one. I don't know. I have to double check my my old file. The images that I took of my map completion. Oh, I can do this really quickly. I'm still chewing a little bit. Bear with me. It's real chewy bacon. Give it uno momento here. Here.
Yeah.
Let's see this, because why not? How you doing? Yeah, anyway, you would describe WarioWare Gold as all those years wasted. What, weren't a fan there? Let's keep this mystery from the YouTube audience. They want my answer. They need to come here to read the chat themselves. Well, they can for like a limited period. If they don't do it within like the next, what, I think like 2 months, it's gone forever. I used to archive my full streams on Twitch so that even when the chat was hidden like this, you would still see like the whole chat history. But because Twitch now has a limit of 100 hours archived content, I can't archive stuff on Twitch anymore. All my Twitch VODs go over to YouTube now, and now they're just in, like, unlisted series playlists, where, like, you can find them in the description of any playthrough, where you go to the players where it's just like, yep, here's the full streams, and you just want, like, the full uncut streams and stuff. But, you know, it's just like the full uncut stream video as is. I can't preserve things like the chat in that format. So, there's a lot of things that were said over the years while the chat was off that is now just lost to the void thanks to Twitch's changes and stuff like that. We just lost the free clickbait. Blame Twitch. Oh, there you are. Got a minute? You know Director General Shosan, right? So, he's asked me to share my knowledge of cosmoarchaeology with the people of Earth. Well, we decided to hold a lecture, and it sounds like we have a lot more interested individuals than I expected. I've never done any public speaking in front of alien races. I don't suppose you have any advice. Curveball? Lead with an opening act? It says advise properly. I mean, what does it mean by act? Like, would even just something like a pitch be like an act? I'll say that. An opening act. Oh, I see. A strategy to put the room more at ease, isn't it? How about I recite some of the poems I wrote on my journey, then? Pursue Buzz Lightyear on Twitch, yep. Missed the 2 Infinity and Beyond while the chat was off earlier. According to the data from the Life World, Earth is no stranger to poetry either. It'll be a perfect point of common reference. Alright, I'm starting to feel good about it. I'm actually looking forward to this now. My shoulders have relaxed. Score. All that's left is to pin down the exact topic. Cosmoarchaeology is a broad subject. Any suggestions? Yeah, about clue culture, I think people will be interested in that. Yeah, I think it'll have to be something along those lines. If I find Earth culture so fascinating, it surely goes both ways. Alright, then I'll do my darndest to accurately and fully convey all the charms of the clue, leaving nothing on the table. All in the hopes that one day it will be more than just Celica and me to meet the people of Earth. Suppose that's that then? I think I've got a rough idea in my mind. Thanks for helping me hash it out. I hope you'll come to the lecture too. Niles. I always want to say Niles, but then they were saying like, I don't know, special lecture. Then my brain started malfunctioning about like which way I should pronounce it here. Anyway. I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna do this. I know that this wasn't exactly a whole lot here, but realistically, I have a lot of things that I want to get through here. It is currently a little bit after noon, so in just under 3 hours, I have to do Mario Kart. That's the time that is scheduled for, and I've got to make sure that these switches are set up and ready to go so we can get like 4 people playing over here. These things I left kind of open where it's like, you know, it can take less time if I really need it to. I'm just gonna like slap it down here for now, say that like, hey, I've at least covered a little bit at the event. Again, I never meant to have like caps on, but I had caps locked, so this is like what we're locked in as. There, that's done. These are the things I still want to cover here. So considering I have 3 hours before doing the Mario Kart, and that's gonna need a little bit of setup time. I have a couple bites left of breakfast here, and there was someone that had wanted to go see the Fargo that I have parked outside since I brought my truck and tinted in that. Had asked about that yesterday and asked if like we could go see it and start it this morning, and I said sure. And we were chatting a little bit about that as I was grabbing breakfast. And I was like, okay, I just kind of want to grab breakfast first, but then like I can follow up afterwards. So I might go do that really quickly with a BRB break. Is what I may just do. And then when I come back, maybe something that'll fit into like that 2-hour time slot for sure. That isn't like open for interpretation for however long it takes. So maybe I come back and I do Binding Blade, and whether that takes 2 hours or less than that, that'll probably give me some time to set up Mario Kart. And then if I have any extra time, I'll hop into something else or something. I don't know, but that's kind of my idea right now, is what I've got going on. So maybe I'll do a little bit more Xenoblade Chronicles X later on if I have more time. But I want to make sure I still have enough time in this event until, like, to get this stuff done. And this is going until, oh, this still is like the old dates. This would be June 1st, is what this is. June or 1st, because that was the original dates that were reported. Yeah, so I have until tomorrow at 2. So I have a little bit under 20, or a little bit over 24 hours. I have 26 hours left to try. Maybe I can get through my list, but again, with LANs, things are going to be pretty free flow. Maybe after Mario Kart, we end up hopping into Mario Party or Smash Bros or something like that, and then that ends up tacking on some time. So, you know, I gotta make sure that I'm getting through like the little things on my list first. So I think I'm gonna BRB break here, and go check out the Fargo there, and then get my breakfast wrapped up, and then probably come back to Binding Blade, and then we'll do like Mario Kart setup, and then the Mario Kart stuff will be in a little bit here. That's my plan. I think that works well time-wise. So I'll be back. Whoops, that is not the beat button there. I'll be back in a little bit.